Hello everyone, I am live at the Emirates. I'm sitting in the press box, so if you ever wondered what Premier League press box looks like, it goes all the way down there. Computers here, we get our little screens. Right, so we watch the game, and as you can see, Emirates looking perfect. The pitch, the groundsmen doing their work on the pitch, and that is the pitch where Arsenal have beaten Manchester City 2-1 tonight. And I've just been in Arsene Wenger's press conference, and as you might expect, he didn't overplay the result. He said it was he admitted it was a statement. He said he was delighted with the performance, especially against a title rival, but he didn't. He certainly didn't go for the line that I've gone for, which is I think Arsenal are now favourites to win the Premier League title. When you look at the other teams, Chelsea, Man United, Liverpool, all in various states of turmoil. Leicester surely won't keep it up. This is Arsenal's year. It really feels like their year, and you can feel that in the fans today. It's got to be said. The crowd were fantastic. That turning point when Kevin De Bruyne missed and then Theo Walcott scored a minute later, it felt like the turning point in the title race. And I've got some questions coming in, so I'll have a little look through. Kareem's asked when Wilshire's going to return. No surprise here, Kareem. We were told it was going to be before Christmas. It's likely to be at least another month from what we're hearing. And by the by, just in the press conference just now, Arsene Wenger has actually announced that Alexis Sanchez has had a setback in training and he's going to be out until, well, for another couple of weeks at least. He said Alexis will probably be back on the 10th of January. So more bad news on the injury front there for Arsenal, but I don't think it'll dampen the mood tonight, certainly. Isaac says great win, yeah. Connor Adams says who got man of the match. I think the official man of the match went to Mesut Ozil, and I'm just thinking whether he would be my choice. He probably would have. He wins games now, not necessarily with his goals, but of course with his assists, and he took his record up to 15 in the Premier League for the season today. The second one in particular, I mean the first one, it's all about Theo Walcott. Mesut Ozil just giving the ball, the simple 5-yard pass, got an assist for it. Brilliant ball for Giroud, and that was, that gave Arsenal a comfortable buffer, which in the end they needed after that Yaya Toure goal. He's really making a difference every week, Mesut Ozil, and it's come at the time when his side needed him. He stepped up and taken responsibility, especially with Alexis out. Let's go through a few of these. Mustafa's asked what I think the key was to Arsenal's victory tonight. A lot of a lot of discipline, a lot of togetherness, a lot of team spirit, and that's one of the reasons I think Arsenal will win the title, or certainly favourites at the moment. They seem more of a team. I've questioned their mentality as much as anyone over the last few years, but there's a real togetherness, there's a real belief. We've seen them go to Olympiacos when they had to win. They had to win by 2 goals and they won 3-0 under real pressure there. We've seen them beat Bayern Munich and Manchester United here at the Emirates this season. Now they've done it against Manchester City on the back of 2 FA Cup wins in a row in the last 2 seasons. You really sense the team spirits there, the togetherness, the belief, the strong mentality that Arsene Wenger always talks about. Tonight, a little bit of luck. Kevin De Bruyne missed that chance, but a lot of it was tactical. They sat deep. They didn't try to outplay Manchester City pass for pass. They sat deep and they looked to counter-attack, and it worked perfectly. And I thought they were excellent, especially in the second half, until that Yaya Toure goal. If Joel Campbell or Aaron Ramsey had taken their brilliant chances, the game would have been dead way before Yaya Toure scored. Michelle's asked whether I think Arsenal cope with the Sanchez setback. Well, they've shown they can. And it's not just Sanchez who's out tonight and against Olympiacos, which are their other big result this month. Francis Coquelin, Santi Cazorla as well. You've still got Jack Wilshere out, still got Danny Welbeck out. Yeah, they can. Ideally, they'd have him back, and they're going to have to juggle their squad a little bit in the next few games. But yeah, Arsenal can cope without Alexis, especially when they're this confident. I thought they would struggle more without him. Remember, Alexis got injured in that Norwich game. I think Arsenal failed to win in 4. They lost to West Brom, they drew to Tottenham. There might have been another game in there, but at the time it felt like a disaster. But such an unpredictable league, you string 4 or 5 wins together and it can look very different. And Arsenal, I guess they have to be a bit wary of that themselves, because anyone can beat anyone, and they might lose a couple, fail to win a couple, and Man City win 5 in a row and it looks very different. But Tanbir said Ramsey should have done better. Well, I thought he played pretty well. His energy and the timing of his runs was excellent. Were excellent. He had 2 really good chances making those Aaron Ramsey-esque, Frank Lampard kind of late runs into the box, but his finishing wasn't on. He was maybe a little bit unlucky with the first one. Should have scored, but poked it straight into Joe Hart's face. It was a great save by Joe Hart. Certainly should have scored the second one when he tried to dink it over him. Matthews asked if Arsenal sign a striker in January. He's having a party. It's 10 a.m. in the morning in Sydney, where he's from. He's celebrating Arsenal's win. He's asking if they're going to sign a striker in January. I genuinely don't think they won't. They will, sorry. I just don't think the quality of striker they need is going to be on the market in January. We've got Giroud and Walcott who can both play there. They're both fit now. Welbeck will be back probably March, April time, maybe a bit later. I don't think there's anyone out there who will improve them in January up front. Certainly longer term, you'd like to see them get a world-class striker next summer. The position they really need in January is a defensive midfielder. Flamini got away with it again. He's playing okay, but you do worry it's going to catch up with him. He's not got the legs. He's not a top quality defensive midfielder, and in any case Arsenal need to sign someone to rival Coquelin or to fight for his place, or a genuine backup, and I think that's where they'll be looking. Someone like William Carvalho would be perfect in that sense. Bastel's asked if I think Leicester will drop form anytime soon. Well, we've been waiting for it. If they were going to drop form, Bastel, it would have been... Or just get rid of chewing on. It would have been in the last month or so. They faced Manchester United at home and won. They faced Chelsea at home and won. They've gone to Everton away and won. So no, I think I can't see it dropping anytime soon. They will have a lull. I don't expect Leicester to be challenging for the title. They're 2 points ahead of Arsenal at the moment. They'll have a drop in form. It's going... Time will probably catch up with them a bit. Oh God! I think Leicester their form will drop at some point, but for me, you can't rule them out. It would be disrespectful to say Leicester can't win the title. I don't think they will, but they're certainly in the race, and they look a lot more likely than not to finish in the top 4 at this stage, especially the way some of their top 4 rivals, like Man United, are playing. Michael's asked if Thierry Henry that Arsenal get a defensive midfielder. I think he said he wants them to, and Arsene Wenger said himself that he's looking in that area. Coquelin's expected to be back in February, March, but realistically, you're looking March, April. So yeah, relying on Mathieu Flamini when you want to win the Premier League title, it's not going to happen. That's the Moose. If anyone wants to talk sport, there is. Say hi, Moose.
I've won you on Periscope.
I'm on Facebook. Mentions, yeah.
How many friends you got on Facebook?
I don't know, about 8,000.
Huh?
About 8,000.
8,000?
Sard's asked if Alexis has suffered a setback. Yeah, that is true. Sard, he's out. Arsene Wenger said he had a setback in training 2 days ago, and he expects him to be back on January the 10th, which in Arsenal terms usually means towards the end of January. So big blow for Arsenal. Confidence is so high after tonight that they'll be able to get through it, but not good news at all. Slight sour note to end the night, I guess. Jimmy's asked a good question whether Giroud will get the recognition he deserves. Yeah, I've caned Giroud as much as anyone. I'm not the only one. A lot of Arsenal fans have too. Weird player. I don't think he is the top quality you need when you compare him to the best strikers in Europe and even in England, the likes of Sergio Aguero. Here, of course, Luis Suarez, Ronaldo, Benzema, of course. He's not that good, but he's good enough. Certainly in a weak league, and it is a weak Premier League at the top of the table this season. There's no standout team. In a weak league, he's good. You can win the title with him, and I wouldn't have said that 6 months ago probably. So I'll eat some humble pie on that one. I do think he's streaky. He'll go on a great run like he's on now. He can score 10 goals in 10 games, and then he'll go missing for 10 games, and Arsenal need someone else to step up if that does happen to Giroud again. And they've got Theo Walcott, who's in good form himself. I think he scored something like 13 goals in his last 16 Premier League starts, Walcott. So 2 strikers who are on form and know how to find the back of the net. Connor's asked if Man City will come back. Yeah, not a million miles behind. I've been in Manuel Pellegrini's press conference too. He was pretty bullish. He said they didn't deserve to lose. He said with Aguero back, with Silva back, with Kompany set to come back, he's confident that in the second half of the season City will be right up there, and they probably will. They're not going to fall away there. In terms of pure talent, they've probably got the strongest squad in the league. It's between them and Arsenal for the Premier League, and they're not going to go anywhere. They should improve in the second half of the season. But one thing I would say about City is how much is the shadow of, the spectre of Pep Guardiola going to hang over Pellegrini? Is he a lame duck manager, and that could damage them as well this season? You're going to ask if Arsenal can win the Premier League. Not only can they, I think they will. And I think after tonight, after the way it's going, the way it's panning out in a crazy, crazy Premier League season, I think Arsenal are favourites. Lots asking about the winter. I have answered this. No to a striker, yes to a defensive midfielder. The names that they're looking at, you've heard already. It's very, very hard to sign top players.
See that, Greg?
See you later, mate.
Only one.
It is very. I'll show you around. Actually, it's very, very hard to sign top quality players in your transfer window. Invariably, most of them are playing at Champions League clubs who don't want to sell them, or they're going for the league title. A good example of that is William Carvalho at Sporting. Sporting are in with a real chance of winning the title in Portugal, but so they're going to have to overpay. You have to pay a January tax almost for those kind of players. But William Carvalho, Ruben Neves, that kind of player, they can be a long-term signing for Arsenal as well. And Arsenal have got the money in the bank, and it'd be worth every penny if it wins in the league this season. So I think they'll do it. They might have to overspend, or they might have to get some sort of stopgap. There's Rabiot at PSG. There's been a bit of talk around him. If they get someone like him on loan, then that could be a really good stopgap, or just an experienced player. I mean, I was in Athens the other week for the Olympiacos game, and Cambiasso, not in the Olympiacos squad anymore, but he could do a job here if he had to. If it's 31st of January and they still need a defensive midfielder, they just got to make sure they've got someone. Lots of people praising Ozil, you can't disagree with that. Lammy's asked if they can beat Barcelona. No, and it's almost not the end of the world when you hear tonight. It's all about the Premier League. They haven't won it since 2004. Barcelona are too good. Messi, Suarez, Neymar. Even if Arsenal win here, which is possible, they beat Bayern Munich 2-0 here, they blew Man United away, they beat Man City now. Even if Arsenal win here, you just can't see that they're going to get hammered at the Camp Nou. That's just what happens. Barcelona are too strong. And it won't be the end of the world, because with City playing Dynamo Kiev, it means that Arsenal have less games in Europe. They're fully focused on the Premier League, and that's the way it should be. Adrian's asked me to get a cameraman. Yeah, I wish I could too, mate. Others asked if Arsenal sell Ozil in the summer. Pretty sure if anyone asks for Mesut Ozil, it will be an emphatic no, or it will be an incredible asking price. I'm talking 80 million plus. It's not going to happen. And where's he going to go? He's not going to go back to Real Madrid. They've got too much price to bring him back, and because of his Real Madrid connections, he's not going to go to Barcelona. They're the only two teams now that you would say can really pinch players off Arsenal. It used to be that Man City would take Arsenal's best players. Man United took one, but not the case anymore. Arsenal keep their best players and they buy more. Sides asked if Campbell can fill Sanchez's shoes. No, but he works really hard, Campbell. He's done a job, and I've been critical of him, and his technique isn't particularly good, and he misses some chances. He's a bit wild, and I'm not sure. I don't think Arsene Wenger's a big fan of him at all, but he's doing a job and he's mucking in, and it's been really important, and he has shown some moments of real quality, a couple of really good assists as well. Michael's asked best place for Callum Chambers, probably on loan somewhere at Everton, but I think your question was about his position. Certainly not centre back, right back or defensive midfield for me for Callum Chambers. Luis has asked if Arsenal are better off without Cazorla. No, not at all. I think Cazorla will make things tick. I think there are some. Ramsey played well tonight, and I think the timing of those runs into the box were really good, but there are some questions about his defensive discipline and a bit of revisionism. But when Arsene Wenger watches the tape back, he'll probably reflect that Arsenal could have been really punished in the first half, because Man City were able to control the game in between the lines in the first half an hour or so. They missed their big chance and Arsenal took theirs, and that was the turning point. But Ramsey against the better sides in that position, I'm not so sure, and I'm not sure Wenger is either. We'll probably, I've been asked about Barcelona a couple of times. If Ramsey's playing there against Barcelona, there would be trouble. And Michael's actually just said that as well. Do I think Ramsey's too offensive? Yeah. He wants to score goals and get into the box. Burhan's asked if Leicester can win the Premier League. No, I think I've answered this before as well. No, but well, no, I don't think they will, but they can. It'd be disrespectful to say they can't. Certainly they can finish in the top 4. Atsiz has said what happened to Walcott when Sanchez is fit, because Campbell's been amazing. Well, Campbell's been good, but certainly not in the same league as even Theo Walcott. We saw Theo's goal today. It was stunning, and it was the game changer. And Campbell will be on the bench. He'll be playing a part. Arsenal have been trying to get rid of Joel Campbell, and I would expect next summer he will end up leaving, but he's certainly done a job. And you know, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain being kept on the bench today for the biggest game of the season so far against Manchester City is testament to that. But thanks guys for your question. I'm going to head off. I've written a piece on the site. I've done another Facebook video as well. I'll leave you with a view of the Emirates after an incredible night here in North London. There's a cannon opposite me, and like I said, it really does feel tonight like we could be celebrating Arsenal winning the Premier League title here in May. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you soon.